Hello and welcome to Max 9 tutorial number 42, Basic Intro to Jit GL number 5. So, you may remember where we were in Basic Intro number 4. Let's get our little fluffy window, or maybe that's not what you call it, your window over here so we can take a look at it while we're working. I have like everything running at the same time. I've got my Berkoza changer running here. I've got my position changer, my rotation changer, and I think we had briefly discussed changing the erase color in the last video, which we can do, but before I do, hold on a second. Just hold that thought. I want to talk about something else before we do that. So let's unlock our patcher here and drag all of this over to the left to make some space. And here's what I would like to say here, is that I am always willing to improve on things that I've done. And one of them is this rotation thing was driving me crazy. It's just jumping around and not behaving, and I realized I was using the wrong rotation. So if you double click in here and swing on down to prepend rotate, what you really want, unlocking your patcher, is rotate XYZ. I forgot about this minor thing here. So there's two different kinds of rotate. One rotates the axes in which the object is, and one rotates the object within those axes. Exciting, right? You can't hardly tell the difference when you're thinking about it, but once you realize that something's wrong, you go back and check, and I did. So change it to rotate XYZ, and you will suddenly find that the rotation works a whole lot better. Let's just close this patcher. Oh, I locked it. There we go. Close it. And now you'll notice, let's turn these off, how much better the rotation works. That one just turns it over so nicely. This one just turns it sideways so nicely. And this one flips it over the other direction so nicely suddenly. And this one doesn't really do anything because it's not necessary. But before we throw it away, let's unlock our patcher here. And now you'll see why I wanted to stop before we got to erase color. Let's take the whole thing with all four of its doodads, option, click, drag the whole thing over here, and let's call it our color changer. E-color changer. It doesn't really matter what you call it. This is just a subpatcher. But now that we have that with four things on it, we'll go back to this one and we'll just go ahead and delete this slider and this toggle. And then on the inside, lock your patcher and click this open. We'll just delete, move fluffy. We just don't really need this last row of things. So we can unlock our patcher and we can delete them. Goodbye. Goodbye. And then we'll change pack back to only having 3 0.0s, and everything is working as it should, and we don't have extra stuff laying around. If you suddenly at this point wanted your phasers to move at different speeds, you could change them, or you could put some special something on them to change them. But we're not going to do that right now. We're happy with them, so we think. So now, just wallowing in our successes, look how much, I mean, it just spins around so much better and almost in a natural way. And then you throw the position in there, and you've got a donut that's just flying around there, changing its brightness, its contrast, and its saturation. If it's getting too far out of field, you can always just keep it somewhere that you like it, and so you can watch it flying around out there. Okay, so let's continue then to our erase color. And notice that I hung on to 4 of these because what we know is that erase color is going to have 4 colors that are part of it. I don't know how to convince the attribute here that should be the case, because it's just set to erase color and it has this little thing that makes that pop up. But we don't want to use this. We want to use 4 letters, but we do know that erase color is going to be the word. So without further ado, we pop this one open and we change the word. Let's unlock our patcher and change that word to erase color. Oh, darn it. Did it have an underline? I can't remember now. Color. I think it did have an underline. I'm going to shift and put an underline under there, and if I'm wrong, I'll come back and fix it. We don't want it going through 360 degrees, however. That would be no good at all. So I probably should have saved the one that had the cycle in here, but now we'll just change them back. It's not such a big deal. So we make this cycle. And I'm just going to copy it so I can lazily just paste it in the other things. There we go. One more. And, interesting. So somehow I managed to, well, we'll have to throw these off somehow. This one is the alpha channel, and it's sort of interesting in the old days. I'm trying to drag it up and down, and I should have realized I can't. In the old days, you could just, oh, that's the speed that it turns. Let's make this one so we have 1, we have 077, we have 015. Let's go for a very nice slow one here. 04. How's that? Nobody is a multiple of anybody? Okay, carry on. All right, so we'll find out if this thing's working momentarily when we close our patcher. So they're should all be running at different speeds. I haven't hooked them up yet. And this one is for, oh, there it goes. There it goes. There it goes. I guess they were just waiting to catch up. Oh, I didn't adjust the sliders yet because they're all going, oh, we haven't done anything yet. Click that back open. We forgot all about the scaling. So let's unlock our patcher, come down here. For colors, we want, this is going to come out a -1, will be -1.0, and the output we want is anything between 0 and 1.0. And then we'll copy all these and paste them in here. And then we have to go do the same thing. So now this will be putting out something that's understandable for the erase color. And then we need to change all of the sliders to between 0 and 1. So we put this away. We can, whoops, unlock the patcher, select all these, open the inspector, and say the output maximum is 1.0 and the minimum is 0. We agree with that. It's absolute. Float the output. We'll probably want to include this in the presentation, but then we want to include a lot of things in presentation. Well, now we've done it. We've included them in the presentation. But, so, now these things are gliding up and down very nicely, though this one does tend to be in sync with this position a little bit, probably because they're based somewhat on the same numbers from the past. Who knows? Anyway, let's try unlocking our patcher and hooking this up and seeing if we get the background color changes that we want. Now, in the old days, when the alpha channel got down to a very low number, it made this very beautiful streaking effect, which I have not been able to duplicate in this new improved Max. I don't know why, but it just can't do it. If you know the secret to getting that to happen, let me know. But with this one, of course, you can just decide where you want the colors and how. So all the way at the top means not transparent at all. All the way at the bottom is supposedly completely transparent, but we don't have that. That doesn't seem to be affecting it the way it used to. Who knows why? Changes to the GL library, I suppose. Well, now we've got a better working rotation changer, a better working color changer, and it occurs to me that we've really done pretty well, and we think to ourselves, what else could we possibly do? So I guess the things that are left are to sort of look around here and see like what things we want in the presentation mode. Let's just go for finishing this product here. One thing occurs to me is that the X fade is would be much better to have a better control. So why don't we just steal one that we know is 0 to 0.1. That would be the color changer. So I'm just going to come up here, unlock my patcher, and steal one of these. And then I always think of X fader as being like this, though in this case it is an amount. I guess I'll just stick with this. It is an amount that this thing's going to be affected by the sound. So you could think of it either way. So now this is going to go full blast and be come back. Let's see where it is. Oh, that's rotation. Sorry. Here we go. Put these right in the middle. Put this right in the middle. We should. Maybe if we turn this. Oh, I see. It's when it's doing that, it's blasting it out into the future. So you need your thing much closer to do that. So that's good to know. I didn't know that. So there it is. So that's a good control for the. There's no effect from the fader, and then the JIT catch, and now there's much more, and it probably ends up being about the same size once it starts getting distorted by the sound. So we have that in there, and then we can just kind of go through and decide what all we want in presentation mode. Put this, and I'm just going to use my shift key to be picking stuff. we definitely want to be able to control our shape, and you could make a U menu out of that. You want to be able to control where you get your I see a problem here. I'm going to say undo those, and we'll make some new ones, and then we'll get all of these up here. Maybe we'll get two of these, and most importantly, I believe the bee patcher. Did I get these in here? Need them. And we're going to say include in the presentation. And then we're going to come down here and do one more thing. We're going to copy these and move them. Just hold your Option key or Option or Alt key and go up there and then say, we just need to say what they are. This is really video. This is really image. And this is really video. Oops. There we go. Video plus image. I'm just doing that so that for people looking at this is going to make sense. If you just tell somebody texture salt, your average person's not going to know what on earth you're trying to do, right? So let's put these in the presentation mode. And then this we don't really need to know, don't need to know. Yeah, let's see what happens when we go to presentation mode here. So I guess I didn't click in the patcher there. There's locked, and there is presentation mode. We didn't label anything, so that is not so good. But the nice thing is that if you unlock things in presentation mode, you can still do some funny things like make comments. So you can just type a C here and say, that first one is position. I'm going to do it in caps lock because it's a label. That's in my mind anyway. And I am somehow imagining that this would all look better with white text. Do we have a text color? Is black here. Let's just make it white. And also, but I could make it bold too. There we go. I like the bold. There we go. It looks more official. So, position. This is rotation. Erase color. I'm going to put one up here because you can never remember what on earth it is. Option, click on that. We'll just say render. Or render world. Or world on. Or something like that. There, it's small. I like it. There we go. All right, and then this is... you need this to start the music. You know, it should also just turn on the audio when it does that. I'm going to unlock this for a second. I'm going to go out of presentation mode for a second and also connect this to the speaker. Here's a funny thing that I'm going to tell you now. You probably haven't noticed it, but if you haven't, it's a good thing to know right now. If you have turned the speaker off, you might notice that this weird thing happens for no apparent reason, which is these stop moving. These are the only ones that were turned on. Because they are audio related, they were meant to run with audio. The cycles here and the phasers in the rotation one, they just shut off if you turn off audio. So you have to have audio on, and I'm going to say the way you get rid of it is you just turn the volume down, and then you don't have to hear it, but it's there. So, but we do want to make sure that the audio's on. So that's all I was really getting at. So now we're going to go back to presentation mode and unlock our patcher and write audio. There we go. And what do we say? Texture input? Texture mapping? Why not? And we'll just say that. Can go there. Make these take up that space. I don't know why I'm doing this. Haven't decided what I'm doing yet. There we go. And then this one. BR space CO space SA. There. Keep them separate. And I think this starts making more sense as you sort of start grouping things together, and then you're like, oh yeah, this is and I am absolutely not saying that anybody's format needs to look so boring as this, right? We're still cool people, and we can put in a new fpic when we want to. And what are we gonna get today? There we go. And we're going to move that to the back. Send it back. And how big does it really have to be? It could be as big as the whole thing. There we go. I'm not sure if that's exactly what I want, but we're just imagining, right? And some of the things that they'd almost fit in there, you know, you'd be like, oh, okay, well, I can fit that in there. You know, they just might need to have brighter colors. We can make all of these white in about a minute. And some of them actually look pretty good, just sort of like thrown in the middle here, you know, like what is that doing down there? Though they should, one would think, be near to the thing where they're controlling. Like this actually makes sense that it's here, and it's the audio, and then this is the volume for that. Doesn't it? I think it does. We'll make it sideways because it's a volume knob. And then we'll just say, hey, all of you. Whoop, ooh, that's not what I meant to do. And it's really not about this. This is just kind of coming in here and being controlled. Whoop, I keep doing that. I keep wanting to, I'm going to lock the background here. View. Oh, I'm sorry. When we click on this thing and we say, make it object. We say arrange, including background. That's it. And then we say lock, under view, we say lock the background. And now we can go ahead and grab things by dragging over them much easier. So one of the things that we forgot in here was to put the image in, because we had the and that can be all down there with the audio. This can, whoops, this can be up here. Again, I am not saying this is the ultimate way to go here. It's just an idea. And what was this? This was the balance between the amount that the audio distorts the so we'll put this next to the TV. It seems like all these things just want to be near there, but we need something over here. Or we can make the TV. No. I leave it up to you to come up with something that works for you. I'm going to take the audio thing and move it up top here. Oh, it doesn't do that. It does this. And then this is whatever the amount that it affects that. This can go right in there. And I'm also planning on making all of these, for no good reason, white. The on color is just going to be white for mine. And also these two. Well, they could be, I don't know. We'll still make them white. There we go. And sort of looks like we could unlock our patent. Well, one would still think, I know, I just keep improving and improving here, that oh, they look terrible over that meter though. Much better. You have to admit, it just makes more sense when they're down there. Doesn't quite fit. And maybe just to what was I going to do here? I was going to try to, I can put those down on the bottom, can't I? And then I just wonder if all of these objects had a similar background color. Oh, none of them will come up that way. Let's say all of these had a similar background color. Background color was that's not really what I was thinking, but it fits the scheme. Blue stands out better. Dark blue, yeah, or you could do them separately. I'm gonna say, oh, no crossover there. Nope. Mostly because of the JIT matrix. I'll just push Shift, U, and say, what is your background color? It is going to be green for sound. I'm just making this up. It's okay if you don't like it. All right, so I'm going to declare victory here with one last little thing, which is we'll take this and we'll make it 40 points and call it "3D Projector." And I don't like that color up there. I'll make it green-ish. Make it transparent-ish. And make it a brighter green if it's transparent. And centered. And about 3 times that size. So there we go. Easy. And it's locked. We're going to save it. Oh, we got to do one more thing. What's that one thing that we always have to do? We want to see the patcher inspector. Make sure this thing opens in presentation. Open in presentation. There it is. And we know that this already does. And then we'll just, oh, and I guess we can get rid of the show toolbar on open. Don't need it. And that should be it. Close that. Go to this. View, and we'll turn the toolbars off for now. And say, there it is. Imperfect, my friends, but there it is. Define initial window location. We save it, and we close it just by closing it, and then we open it again. There it is. Blah, 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 title GL. I guess I forgot to update the name, but there it is. And Fluffy moved. That's going to be a thing. You're probably thinking we'll just give up, but we will not. We remember that this is controlled by the JIT world, and this attribute is connected to it. So what we are going to do is say, hey, where is that? Is it rectangle or position? Position? Rectangle. That's it. And just making sure that we can actually read it. There we go. And now we are going to take this thing out of, just for a minute. We'll put it back. I took it out of presentation mode, and then I can't see this. So we're going to go ahead and type a new thing, which is, are we unlocked here? New, and it's going to be load mess 690. Oh, excuse me. It has to be rect 690 260 109 and I can't read the last one. Wait, we'll just have to move this and then guess. 1090. Don't erase that. And 636. And now we're going to do a little experiment. So we'll put this down here and we'll take it out of presentation mode and open this window up a little bit. And what do we, there it is. And we want this to load into there we go. So load mess is like load bang, but you can put a message right in it. Now, I might not get away with this. I might have to make this a message and then just bang it, but it can actually load just whatever the message is that you give it. So I'm going to double click on this and see if this jumps to the right spot. It does. So when this opens, this is going to tell Fluffy to go right there. Isn't that great? So just move your, you can move your JIT world around. Actually, you can actually, if you can see if you change these numbers, it changes the size of Fluffy, also where it is, right? So then we double click on this and it jumps right back to where it's supposed to be. Fantastic. All right, put this thing back in presentation mode and we will, yeah, save it, close it, and open it. Ta-da! Look at that. Fluffy opens up right where it's supposed to be. We can start rendering the world. We tell it to do the video. There it is. We can tell it, we just want to make sure, do we have a shape? We don't really need that there. I used to have it as, might just want to delete that, but let's, before we do, oh, here it is, shape, plane, We'll pick Taurus this time, and then we'll start our things running. Make sure everybody's feeling good about themselves. See if we can hear it. There we go. And we got these going on, some erase color, and where, oh, it's this. This is the thing that makes it distort. So there we go. So people, we have done it. Look at our 3D projector. It's, my TV, however, did not go to its correct zoom. I'm going to call that a minor item. All right, I'll fix it. Gosh darn it. This should have had a delay put on it. "50 milliseconds should do. Slide that in there. Come on. Save it. And we'll go back to it. But I'm so confident that that's, oops, that that's going to work, that I'm not going to drive you all crazy. So there it is. I'm sure you can make a fancier version than I did, but our 3D projector, made as fancy as we want it to be with all the controls, all the labels. It's a real beaut. So, fabulous. Thank you for watching these tutorials, and I can't wait to see these projects. Patch well, and best of luck with your final project or your 3D projector if you're just tuning in from the internet world. Take care, patch well, and I'll see you maybe in another tutorial.